to get along
We're gonna get ready to
above us.
go.
Sorry.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
we're going to open the Pownal Board of Directors meeting for February 25th. And the first thing on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, next on the agenda would be an executive session for personnel.
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion been made and seconded, and we will move into an executive session. Okay. We will be back. We're back on schedule. All right. We have no presentations. Next on the agenda is public comments. Seeing none, we'll move right to our action items. The financial, one, treasurer's report for January. It was enclosed. Is there any comment or conversation on the questions on the treasurer's report?
No.
None? Okay, we'll move down to the consent agenda.
So moved.
Need a motion, second? Motion's been made and seconded. Is there anything on the consent agenda that needs to get brought up? No, all right. All those in favor of the consent agenda signify by it's unanimous. Very good. All right, C, there's no policies.
Our meetings keep getting canceled.
Okay. Oh, were they? Yes, to the weather probably. Okay. Jim had asked us to put the discussion regarding school merging on the agenda. Jim, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, we just need to keep the level of awareness very high. I spoke to the Vermont School Board today, and the Vermont School Board was in the committee working on it, and they're saying they're making changes by the day. I thoroughly read through the Friday's version of the bill, which is being drafted, okay? And we all have to pay close attention, because the first draft we saw, it basically said we must dissolve the Pownal School District. And now, the phrase there's another phrase they're using. And I'll think of it in a second. Okay, this is the draft of the part of the draft of the bill from Friday. And I was told today by Vermont School Board it changed yesterday and it changed again today. But integrated education systems. So what we have right now is we have a Department of Education, a state school board, supervisory unions, and then school districts, okay? And all these versions attempt to dissolve the school districts. Vermont has 250 towns and 250 school districts. The school districts are a municipal corporation. They are a long-standing legal entity. The supervisory unions are just a partnership of the districts. The districts have all the money, all the power. We used to have all the money, but all the authority lies in the districts. A complaint about the supervisory unions as they exist right now is we don't vote on the budgets because they don't have a budget. They only have the money that we give them, and we share it on by different formulas. So I just think everybody has to be aware that after a couple hundred years of autonomous school districts in every town taking care of their own, they're going full bore ahead for state-run schools. I don't care how you describe it. They got this new language, integrated education systems, which is going to be something else, but it all comes down to dissolving the school districts. They're not saying they're not going away from that. The first version said that the school districts go away, and the supervisory unions become a district. That's important because the supervisory union doesn't have any much of a legal standing. Okay, it's just this partnership. And that's about. And the other thing is, no offense to Tom, okay, but in the bill, one version, I don't even know if we're still in this version, that once we surrender the school district, then the highest ranking authority in Pownal will be the principal, okay? And we require, all the principals are required to belong to their own unions. A union, is it, or an association? Association. So so you have organized labor, so but the law is saying that the principals have sole authority for hiring and firing in the buildings, okay? So you have kind of a gray area of sister associations, if you will, the Principals Association and the Teachers Association, and it's the possibility for not in Todd's place, but it's just that we have forces in play that might not work very well for the public.
I think what's happening, and you're right, daily they're changing.
Yeah.
You know, they talk about it. One thing I was going to do is call Steve Dale, the president of the Vermont School Board Association, and ask him, I've spoke to him before about this, because they deal with it up in Vermont, up in Montpelier. He said that they were going to, last fall, when they were talking, that most of them were just among themselves, that they got very little information from or input from any school board member. And I had asked him, why don't we do an interactive TV? We have it right there in Bennington, set up a meeting, and any of us that are willing to or interested enough to go up there, you go just drive to Bennington instead of Montpelier and be in on this. It's important that we're involved in the conversation. So I think I'm gonna call him again. I talked to him last October. Thought that was a good idea. So what I'll do is I'll get in touch with them and find out when and if they're gonna do that.
This bill is supposed to be reported out this week because they want to get it reported out before the town meetings. All right? And when I called the school board today, they're frantically trying to get it done this week.
Good
So
luck.
the time for input, as far as this education committee, I guess, is coming to an end. It came real fast. I mean, they're trying to wind it up this week, whatever happens. The other comment, this is Jim O'Connor speaking for Jim O'Connor. All this merging, consolidation, okay, I think is a red herring. Vermont is number one in per student expense, pretty much number one in per student expense. And it all goes back to trying to apply the 14th Amendment of the Constitution to Vermont education for everybody and equal outcomes among students. And all that's happened is it's driven up cost. Okay, the state took over funding of the schools, and the local property tax is no longer local property tax. So all these versions have all different ways of collecting taxes, okay?
Oh,
But the
yeah.
problem in the first place was the state taking too much power. And this is just another step in that direction, so, thank you.
Okay, very good. But I do think that, I know, haste makes waste is the way I look at it. So if they're rushing through, it's almost like the legislators do at the last 24 hours of the session for the year. They hurry up and get something done fast. But this is going to take a lot of high quality intervention with people. It really is.
It's us.
Okay, so now we move to the principal's report.
Just a few things this evening. First of all, I just want to say thank you to our custodial crew, teachers that were involved this last week when we had the heating coil burst in the classroom right over there in 215. Some damage there, but the classroom below was really basically a loss as far as materials and things, and had to gut the classroom. And Serve Pro came in, cleaned up, did a nice job there. Secor helped out, Sam Kelson Plumbing. Down in the kindergarten wing, we had a classroom with a water leak as well. Want to thank Kevin. He came in on a Sunday, not knowing that this happened, discovered it, and moved very quickly on it, and we were able to open on time on Monday, and that was my concern, and did a great job. So I want to say thank you to those folks. In our safety committee the other day, we did talk about having another off-campus drill to Pownal Valley Fire Department like we did last year. and we're planning that again for this June.
Okay.
And we'll get the date, and I'll get together with Walter Clark and Jason Olansky to get that worked out and planned again this year.
Now,
I think the more we do drills like this and the more prepared we are. It used to be fire drill after fire drill after fire drill, month after month, and now that we're a fire drill 1 month,
evacuation. the next.
clear the halls or lockdown drill the next month, and it's fire drill, clear the halls, fire drill, clear the halls. And then if we do one of these each year, off-campus evacuation will be more prepared, so
Now, does that include Oak Hill plus the?
we're looking into that to make sure that we are a campus because of all of our.
Because of the proximity of them.
Right.
Perfect.
Just one other thing, we're starting to find out a little bit more about Smarter Balanced SBAC, Smarter Balanced Assessment Consortium. And that is the test that the students will be taking this spring in math and English language arts. We're getting more on this every day, and our teachers are becoming more prepared and getting the kids ready for this test this spring. So as we get more information, again, the teachers are getting this information to the kids as well, so they're more proficient on the computer to do well, hopefully this. And it is our first attempt at the Smarter Balanced as opposed to the kneecap, so that'll be coming up starting.
It's Common Core, right?
It is. So late March through the first part of June,
Oh,
we'll be testing
Okay.
different grade levels per week, spreading that out over the period of time.
very good.
Other than that, I think that's it.
Wow. I
Todd, can
know
I just
the,
ask when the play
Sure.
is?
What's that?
The play?
The play is, when it is?
Yeah, March.
It is March. It is the 27th,
right.
Friday
27th and
evening at
28th.
7, Rats, the story of the Pied Piper, and then on Saturday, the 28th, 7 o'clock in the evening as well.
They're both 7 o'clock?
They are.
Okay.
And I know I'm going to invite the drama club next month to the March meeting. That's normally the meeting that they come to prior to the event, so I'll look forward to inviting them, and I know the board will look forward to hearing
Yeah.
a snippet of
Yes.
what's to come.
Yes. Okay, good. I got a phone call from a woman who is I believe, I guess she's the secretary to the Little League, and they play ball down in the ball field in North Pownal. They had a problem last year with one of the neighbors driving on the field with four-wheelers, and she said what they're trying to do, they've been doing fundraisers. They want to put a fence up there. I think there is a fence there, but it's getting knocked down and there's problems with it. I took a ride down there, but it's hard to see with the snow, so it's something we gotta look at in the spring. And if there's a damaged fence, I think we can claim it under our insurance. And between what we get, she's been fundraising right along to try and close that. And I told her I didn't see any reason why they couldn't enclose it and gate it in. And then she would just have to make sure the gentleman that does from the town, he mows that. And he'd have to have a key to
Is
to
that
get
ours?
in. It's the North Pownal ball field right
Yeah, I
next
know
to
where
the
it is.
church.
Belongs to the school system?
It's the school's property, yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's part of, because years ago, the North Pownal School was built on it,
Okay.
and they tore it down, like,
And the property's still there?
and the
Okay.
property, yes.
Yeah.
And the Little League uses it year-round.
I know
use
they
it.
do.
So that's something that we can, again, bring up like in April, because it's really hard to look at now. I couldn't see, but
Should someone contact the insurance
too
company?
much snow. Well, I think when
Find
the
out.
time comes, we can, right, Jim?
I'm gonna touch base on tomorrow, just to
Yeah,
confirm
just
that
to see.
any damage or anything there is on our policy.
Yes, yeah, it should be. With me, we're paying for that part too, I think, for that piece of property.
I'll check tomorrow.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So our next meeting will be March 18th.
I will not be here. I will be flying
Come
to the
on,
Bahamas.
You know, Bahamas, Pownal meeting, give me a break. All right. I guess I will understand that. All right, is there any other to come before the board?
Don't we have to sign the warrants?
Yes, I just looked, but I didn't find the warrants to sign them. I mean,
Maybe, we'll find out.
do we just sign
They're
the
here.
front? We don't,
Oh, they didn't make them? I've just signed the front.
let me make sure we had the right kind, all right. Yes, I have to sign the warrant. And then if there's no other business to come before the board, we can, someone introduce,
I make a motion to adjourn.
that motion made second, all those in favor? All right, very good. Just please stay put until you sign the warrants. Thank you very much. Did a good job.
There's no total on the